one of the things that you truly are gonna measure as a coach to whether or not you fulfilled the mission that you had for yourself, right, in your life's work. So I think for all of us, and we're in such a profession where we're so other focused. You have I don't know how many you have, but you have junior high, you have youth level kids. You have so many families you're touching, right? It's so easy to go to bed at night or on the way home. This little guy, was crying in practice, and his mom's dealing with this, and this guy's got this, and this guy's got that, and we can lose what? We can lose ourselves. I've done it, been there. We can lose ourselves, right? So the ability, the absolute necessity that I say no one can lead any higher than they can lead themselves. Right? It's hard to lead anybody any further than you can lead yourself. So the constant work on us. I have 2 coaches. I need more than 2. I got 2. I got Chet Scott, who's a life coach for me. I got Tom Rohde, and he was AIA, FCA. He's a Christian. He's a Christian man that meets with me every week, and this is the guy that Joe was referring to. And I'll tell you this: when I walk out of my office, I make a left. There's a conference room about this size. I come out of my office and make a left. This conference room, we run to my right. I look in and I see Joe sitting with Tom. I smile. When I see Kyle sitting with Tom, I feel good. When I see Nate, when I see my leaders, there's a correlation. There's a correlation between their lives, the testimony of their life, and their belief. I've seen it. I'm not saying I haven't had really good guys that aren't believers. I have. But I believe in it. Right? I believe in if we can make them know who they are more, they'll deal with things a lot better. I'm sorry, I was rambling, man.
It's awesome. It is awesome.
It's good rambling.
I got a question for you. We're all, if you ask somebody today, maybe I'm off base, but if you ask somebody today, how you doing? What's the first question? What's the first response that people typically say?
Yeah, I think great.
I'm busy.
I'm busy. Yeah, I'm busy. Good.
Busy's
yeah,
like
yeah.
good or busy.
Busy, yeah.
Right. Busy's probably one of the #1 words that people use. So
Yeah.
we have just a fast-paced, crazy culture.
Yeah.
As a coach, a guy's got a ton of demands. I mean, you're starting season. You're flying up here. You've got a potential for a major imbalance of just not time with your wife, not time with your family.
Yeah.
I just know, and I know the demands of coaching. I don't know where everybody is in this room, but what are some of the things that you've done to be intentional to make sure that it doesn't, you have the focus. And you touched a little bit on that. I don't know if I'm making sense of my question, but just to cut out the noise, the noise, and make sure that you, I don't know if you go on dates with your wife. What are some of the things that might help the guy? All of us in the room is trying to not get bogged down by the world, I guess.
Yeah, so I like to say that I never have been bogged down by the world, and I like to say that I've never been bogged down by the world since I've known Jesus, but I have. Right? The reality is that I think as men we tell the stories we want people to hear, right, and not the ones that we're really dealing with. So with my team, I want guys to really share with the real stories. But in saying that, so I'm one of the things I think I do well is I dream a lot. I visualize life 5, 10, 15, 20 years, 30, 40 years down the road. And I see, so I can read you, I could look at my phone right now. I have my Opus on my phone. And one of the for me, it's just for me, one of the things that I see happening is I see my first son or my second son, but the first one to get married, just got married. I want to beat the crap out of his grandkids, out of his kids. Right? I want to be able to wrestle them and beat them. Right? So that's just something right? So I want to be able to get on the mat with them for as long as I can. And so in order to do that, just for me, right, I've got to be able to maintain my well-being, right? So I've got to be, so I want to, I feel like incredible relationships are built when you can actually, as a little kid, when you're literally on the floor, you play with them, right? So I want them to see that that grandpa, that's something just for me, that's important. I see myself in my deathbed, because I know this, right? Life taught me in my darkest time that listen, I don't want to say I mean, there is There was no guarantee Ohio State was gonna win the Nationals last year, but I was pretty sure we were going to. Right? But we didn't. So there's a lot of things that, that can't be guaranteed, and there's only one thing that can. And because I was exposed to the deep pain of this guarantee, I'm aware of it. And that only guarantees I'm gonna die. It could be tomorrow, right? There's no American Eagle on Sunday. If that individual isn't prepared to fly the plane the way they need to, I don't know, the guy that's supposed to crank the last screw and threw a few down, and doesn't crank the screw that's supposed to keep the tail on. I don't know, right? I mean, I don't live in fear of that at all, because I know the end. But I know that I'm gonna die. And I say, I live with, and this is just the truth, I live with 1 foot on earth and 1 in heaven. I live daily knowing that heaven's real, I'm gonna be there, I don't know when, and that guarantee kind of constantly reminds me that, listen, if I was fired tomorrow, I'd lose a lot of friends. It's just the truth, right? But I know the ones I wouldn't lose, right? I know the ones I wouldn't lose. And the ones I wouldn't lose are the same ones that will be by my bedside if I get ill, right? So I think the world is really busy, and I think if we just get caught with 2 feet on earth, you know, these are things that can happen. My marriage has struggled. Right, I've been married for 24 years now. When we went through this dark time, it was a really hard time for my wife and I. You know, you got to take time, date night. You got to freeze your phone. You got to listen. You know, I think that, you know, once as men in general, right, the catch is a big piece of it. You catch. Once you've got the catch, you got the catch, right? You don't need to foster it. And things that aren't fostered, they will, right? Yeah, so I think it just, you know, just all of us, which I'm no master at, but I'm aware of it, just assessing the things in life that really matter. And we say often as an organization, as a program, listen, if I taped your mouth shut and I followed you around for a month or a week or a day, I would know you're priceless. A lot of people will tell you what their priceless is, but your actions, right? Our actions speak so loud I can't hear what you're saying, right? So tape it shut, any guy in your team, you tell me you play 10 hours of Fortnite a day, and you want to be a great student, and you want to be you're full of crap, right? You're just not telling the truth. So I think that just being aware, I think just being aware of that, you know, I think just being aware of that. And, you know, please don't think that, you know, there are seasons where you're more engaged in that than others, right? Where, you know, our nature, if we drift, is trouble. If we drift, it is just the way it is, right? You stop paying attention to your wife as much, and you start paying attention to Twitter and Instagram and porn or whatever the heck it is. I mean, it can. The effects of it are real. I mean, it will eventually ruin your relationship, and we've got to just make those hard decisions that I mean, our actions ultimately speak to what means more to us. Right? Well, my marriage meant a lot, but I go out every night with my friends. My marriage meant a lot, but you know, I'd rather watch these two people go at it on the internet. Right? My marriage means a lot, but I'm going to spend all day and all night with my team. You know, well, your beliefs and your beliefs and your what's the word, Joe?
Actions.
Actions, behavior. Your beliefs and behavior are not in alignment. And please don't think mine have always been in direct alignment, because they haven't. And I'd be telling a lie if I said they were. But I work at it, and it's still hard.
So it's 8:01. I know we